Alright YouTube, for this vlog I'll be reviewing the Michael Jackson movie Michael. So I'll say, and I have heard that this movie has gotten kind of harsh critic reviews on Rotten Tomatoes and a few other sources, but apparently audiences really like it, and I was aware of this going into the movie, but personally when I first saw the score so low I was like kind of worried. But honestly I didn't even really follow much of the marketing behind this movie or many of the trailers, although I am a Michael Jackson fan. I loved him even when I was like 8 years old. I loved all his songs and had like a phase where I was just like, obsessed with him. And fast forward however many years, I'm bad at math, but I listen to a lot of his songs in slowed and reverb, which are my favorite kinds of songs, FYI. So I'll say the movie definitely is a little more of a musical than what they would call a traditional biopic. But to be honest, I'm not really terribly concerned about it being more musical than like a biography style movie. But I will say something I do have to say, a small gripe I have with the movie is I feel like it could have been a little more clear of that it's probably going to be split in two parts, because it does kind of end on an open end and end before a lot of other things happen in Michael Jackson's life. But circling back, I really enjoy from the get-go, because seeing his harsh childhood and him rising up and being like such a big star was very inspiring, and even reminded me of myself a little bit. But what really stood out to me was how kind and gentle Michael was in the movie, especially when he was not treated with kindness nor anything from his dad or a lot of other people around him, which was very sad. But he did also have a few pets like the llama, and of course Bubbles the chimpanzee, which was fascinating to me and really cute. And I don't know, the movie just has a ton of wholesome and smiling moments where even if you know nothing about Michael Jackson, which if you know nothing about Michael Jackson, where have you been? But I'll say that, back to what I was saying, it's still a very just a feel-good movie, and the music is definitely really good as well, especially the numbers and the songs. And I understood a lot of the references too with like his music videos and MTV, and how the Thriller music video, the Beat It one, were definitely iconic music videos. And of course Michael Jackson's an icon, so I can't wait, and I'm excited for number two. The movie definitely exceeded my expectations, which were somewhat unsure, but then later circled back up to pretty good. But I didn't really follow too much about the movie going up. I wasn't even 100% sure I would see it, but I decided, what, it's a good thing to see it, because I do enjoy these style movies. I don't really watch a lot of biopic movies, but this one does apparently have a very high audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, one of the highest, which really proud of. I think a lot of people will agree the critics were being harsh, but also something I do want to say is I've noticed a lot of movies lately, or more movies than I would think, especially over the summer, opened with 100% and then fell. So I don't know, I feel like it's kind of just a wild card what a movie opens up to on Rotten Tomatoes, but not the end all be all. I don't even read many movie reviews. Hell, like I've said in my vlogs, I'm not really a movie critic or anything, or even just, I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe. And it's the same thing with YouTube. So definitely the dancing was impressive too with Michael Jackson. Like I really enjoyed how he was dancing from the get-go. And his dad was definitely a terrible person. And I will say it was funny to see the actor look even older, or look older than he is without the beard, was just fascinating and just kind of hilarious to me. Which they say beards make young guys look old and old guys look young, so this kind of proved it, or whatever the case was. It was definitely also cool to see his brothers and the Jackson 5 growing up together. But what really stood out to me was everything. So that's all for today's vlog. No script. Stay tuned for more vlogs soon, guys. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.